What up, y'all? It's your boy here. Coming back at you with another shorty. Yeah, I'm sitting out here on my porch, and we had our 30th year high school reunion last weekend, and just seeing all the old faces again kind of took me back to those days 30 years ago, and just brought up some memories and things that happened in my 4 years at Milford. So I'm gonna do like 3 videos like back to back. I look through my old videos and I'll be looking at them literally. When I make these videos, y'all, it's really for me. I'll be recording these videos and I go back like a month later and look at them and just be rolling because it just brings back all that stuff that used to happen years ago that didn't happen. And I had did a video on my name, huh? Yeah, I'm doing a video. Look at my son interfering.
What's up, y'all?
Interfering in my videos. When I did a video. You want something?
No, it was I heard a lot of movement up here.
I'm sitting out here. Leave the TV on.
Huh?
Leave the TV on.
Okay.
Now that I'm back and my son, I did a video about my 9th grade year at Milford, but I didn't do any videos on the other 3 years. I did some videos on certain things that happened, but not specific, just like each year. So I'm gonna do a video like on my 10th grade year, my 11th grade year, my 12th grade year, just a couple of things that happened those years. But this one's gonna be about my 10th grade year. My 10th grade year at Milford, first of all, it was our first year for us at the Washington Avenue location, because in 9th grade we was going to Subbrook Middle School because it was the last year of the Milford renovation. So my 10th grade year was the first year of the reopening of Milford at Washington Avenue. And it was a couple of different things for me because for one, I went to Western School of Technology half a day. And we went on the morning shift. They had it where people who went to Western, some people went there in the morning and some people went there in the afternoon. So the people who went there in the morning, we didn't go to Milford. We went straight to Western. And then we caught the bus back. The school bus brought us back to Milford. And the afternoon people, they went to Milford during the daytime, and then the bus took them there, and I'm assuming the bus brought them back to Milford. I don't know how the afternoon shift worked, because I went there in the morning. So the bus picked us up from our bus stop, took us directly to Western, and I had never been to Western School of Technology before. It's out there like in the Catonsville area. It was nice. A lot of Milford people went there. What I'm thinking is, because when we caught the bus in the morning, it was like one of those special needs buses, like the half bus. And so it was only like maybe, it might have been 10 people on our bus, maybe on that bus going to Western in the morning. But when we left Western and went to Milford, we had a whole bus, and it was like, we had almost the whole bus full. So they must have had 3 or 4 different buses picking people up to take us out there in the morning, but we all rode the same bus back to Milford. So while we was out there at Western, I was on computer programming. I took 2 classes out there. I took it was like accounting, and I was in this computer programming joint, and that was hard. The accounting wasn't that hard because I was always good at math, but that computer programming, well, that was a beast. The only people that was in my class for Milford was Butchie was in my class, Danielle Alfred was in my class. I remember those 2. I think they the only 2 that was in my class. because it was all mixed up. You had people in our classes from different schools. You had people in our class that went to like, they was, you know, people from Randallstown, people from Owens Mills High School, Catonsville High School. It was all mixed up. But that class was, that computer programming class was hard. We was doing some serious work up in there. If I had stuck with that, oh my gosh, I'd have been caking by now. And it was my intent to stick with that. But like I told y'all in previous videos, that was my 10th grade year was the year I got put out of Milford. And I didn't come back until 11th grade. And when you get put out, if you get put out of your zone school, you automatically get put out of Western. So I ended up getting put out of Western as well. But it was nice up there. It was different, seeing kids from different schools. I mean, it was some people up there that I had went to middle school with that I hadn't seen since Johnny Cake Middle School. That was also up there. So that was cool seeing some of those old faces again. So that was one new experience, was going to Western. And then when we got back to Milford, when we got back to school, you either went to A lunch or you went to fourth period, depending on how your schedule was. When I came back, I had fourth period. So, I had B lunch. So, I came back, my first class of the day at Milford was fourth period. Then I went to B lunch, then I had just a regular schedule. But it was also, like I said, the first year back at the Washington Avenue building. I had never been to that building before. So going to Western was brand new, and basically going to Milford was brand new. So I had never been in either building. So, and because we weren't there in the morning, we basically had to find our way around the building when we first got there, like first day of school, because we didn't have any homeroom. These bees and stuff flying around here. I'm sitting out on my front porch, y'all. I had never been in that building before. So we had our schedule, but I don't know where nothing is. So that was a challenge, just finding our way around the building. Luckily, Milford is not a hard building to find your way around, because Milford is just a plain building. It's basically just 2 floors. Each floor is just like a straight floors. There's nothing hard about Milford. It ain't hard to find nothing in there. So, but it was just different because it's such a different design than what Subbrook Middle was. So, but it was good to see all the old faces again from 9th grade back at 10th grade. It was a wild year that year. That would have been class 96 when they were freshmen. So they were introduced to that building just like everybody else was. All of us were basically freshmen that year, because it was the first year for everybody being in that building. So it was, trying to think of some things that stood out that year. I know we had the big, everybody know about the big Eastwood Liberty Gardens beef. I think went down that year. I think that was the year that went down, 10th grade. We had that. Of course, I ended up getting put out that year. A lot of people got expelled that year. That was a bad year. That 92, 93 year, a lot of people ended up getting put out for different reasons that year. But other than that, I don't think there was anything else special that I can remember. Of course, I ended up getting put out, and like I said in other videos, I ended up going to Emerson Westside. Because what happened, like I said before, we had actually moved where we lived at. We was living at Oakview Apartments, and we had moved, and we were actually living in the city my 10th grade year. And how Milford found out, I was still using my old address. I never told Milford that we had moved. And what happened was, let's go, y'all. We got the police around here doing something down the street. The people in Morgan must be down there acting up. What happened was, I was gonna get suspended. This was gonna be like my 4th suspension, and they ended up finding out. In fact, I think I got like suspended to the board or something. I can't remember because I was at the Board of Education office, and they the ones that found out. That's when it found it when the investigation was going down. That's when it came out that I wasn't living where I was supposed to live at, because I was at the Board of Education. So I got suspended to the board, and it was found out that I wasn't even living in Milford's district. So they ended up sending me to my zone school would have been Forest Park, and Forest Park, when they sent me up there, they couldn't accommodate the schedule that I had, so they ended up sending me to Evanston West Side. And when I went up there, that school is huge, man, compared to Milford. That place is huge. Like I said, I don't know if I told my story about Emerson, but I went up there with a straight attitude, because I'm going to school straight up Southwest Baltimore. I'm thinking I don't know nobody up here, so I ain't taking nothing off of nobody. I'm not gonna get punked up here, none of that. And my first day there, people want to know who I was, where I was from. And I told them, I'm from the county. I went to Milford Mill High School at the time. I hadn't even turned over to academy yet. And it was like so many people, new people, who went to Milford. It was like people's cousins, siblings. It's like so many people, new people that went to Milford. There were people that went to Milford who lived in Emerson Village. That was however, was going to Milford. And I ended up kind of fitting right in up there. Actually, I wasn't there long, because I got sent to Emerson. It was like March. It was like halfway through the school year. And while I was there, I ended up hooking up with the wrong crowd. And I was only going there for like maybe literally like a month and a half before I just stopped going to school. I just stopped going. I started hanging out, out the street and doing things. So, but it wasn't nowhere near as bad as I thought it was going to be up there. But it was hot. It was hot up there. I remember like my first week up there, it was like a drive-by. Like we had got out of school, and it was a drive-by shooting that happened right in front of the school. Like my first week there. I like that. What kind of school they got me in up here? And it was weird because I had 2 of my classes was in the West Side Skill Center, and so, as a matter of fact, it was my last 2 classes of the day, which was my computer classes. They was in the West Side Skill Center, and so you had to, you went to school in Emerson High School building, but you would actually leave the school and go across the street to the West Side Skill Center, and so it was nothing for students to see students walking back and forth between Emerson High School and the West Side Skill Center across the street. So people would come out of there, like when lunchtime came around, it was nothing but people just walk over to Emerson Village Shopping Center. They over there in Popeyes. They over there getting food from Royals, all that. So it was nothing to see Emerson High School students in the shopping center during school hours, because students were walking in and out the building all the time, going back and forth between Emerson High School and the West Side Skill Center. So I used to go over there and eat. I used to eat lunch over there. I didn't even eat lunch in the cafeteria because I just didn't want to be in the cafeteria, because I don't know enough people up there like that to feel comfortable in that cafeteria. So I used to eat lunch. When I would eat lunch, I would eat over at the West Side. Over at Emerson Village Shopping Center. You Popeyes or somewhere, just pick somewhere to eat. And we eat over there. I said the school was huge, probably twice the size as Milford. Well, oh my God, I'm simply trying to do my video, and this is what happens when you do videos outside. This cat is in front of my car, and this is my neighbor's cat that live across the street, and this cat be around here fighting other cats. He beat the dog mess out of this cat one night in front of my house in my yard. I don't know what that beef is about, but that cat was out here screaming. I thought he was out here raping that cat. My neighbor's cat, he thug cats on it. This cat might be from Emerson Village. But anyway, that was my 10th grade year. Basically, it was in 3 new buildings. I'd never been to Western School of Technology before. I had never been inside of the Milford 3800 Washington Avenue before. I had never been inside of Emerson High School before. So I was at 3 different schools that year for the first time. You know, it was my 2nd year at Milford, but like I said, 9th grade, we was at Surbrook Middle School. So I had never even been inside the Washington Avenue building. We just, when that next school year came, they gave us, everything was sent to us in the mail, and just show up at Milford and you find your way through the building on the first day of school. Well, that's it for my 10th grade year. Like I said, I'm gonna do 11th grade, I'm gonna do 12th grade. All this stuff is like just floating through my brain right now, so I'm kind of doing back to back. So that's it for this video. I'm about to be nosy. The police down the street, it's a couple down the street that the police had to come here before. It's a couple that be getting into it, they be fighting, and the thing about it is, it's the girl. The girl been there, she be beating this dude up. Well, my daughter had her baby shower. What's the church right on the corner of my block, and we had rented out their hall for my daughter's baby shower. And that day, I was sitting out here on this porch. So when people came around here, they knew where to go. So they knew to come to my house, and I would direct them to that church on the corner. That same day, them 2 got into it before. She beat that dude half to death. They didn't even arrest him. They arrested her. And then them 2, I think both of them like on drugs. But she like a little bigger than him. She get lit up and they get into it, she be beating him up. She might have beat him up again. Because the police done been around here several times for them. And they not even that old. I'm older than them. They probably like in their 30s. I'm gonna check out, see what's going on down there. They might have done got into it again. All right, so that's it for this video. I'm gonna start up the next one in a couple minutes. All right.